So welcome back everyone to our part 2 of Medicine Buddha. Hope your day is going well and set aside your to-do list. It's no longer here and you are now with the community of practice friends. We are here to help, learn, laugh, and cry together in this half hour of Dharma, reflection, and community connections. If you are a new friend to our community, please accept our wholehearted welcome. It is customary for people in Australia to begin any meeting by acknowledging the custodians of their land. So in the spirit of reconciliation, I would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that Non-Tian Institute resides on, the Wodi people of the Dharawa Nation. I pay my respects to their elders, past and present, and extend those respects to all Aboriginal people of today. I also acknowledge and pay my respects to the traditional custodians of the various lands on which you stand. The check-in sessions have been created by our communities of practice team, developing a reflective practice in response to our changing world. Guided by humanistic Buddhism, we would like to help each other cultivate our practices and build memorable friendships. For the first half of this year, we have focused on having an overarching purpose for our sessions, in addition to weekly topics. Thank you, Stephen and Warren, for these suggestions. Apart from the weekly topics, we would like to invite you to ponder how we can connect our discussions and reflections to our daily lives. Last week, Chris took us on a journey with one of our teachers, Medicine Buddha, where we learned of the 12 vows he made. We focus on vow number 7 and 10, where we learn about health and happiness of body and mind. To continue with June's theme of health and healing, Chris will now take us on 2 new sets of vows for Medicine Buddha. Please welcome our friend Chris to share this topic.
Thank you, Cindy. Before we begin today, let's start off with our customary meditation check-in. So sit yourself upright and find yourself a comfortable position. Position your hands in your lap and let them relax and go limp. Gently close your eyes, and as you do, take a deep breath. As you breathe out, I want you to completely relax and let go of any thoughts you are having. If there's any tension in your face or your jaw, let them relax and soften. On the next breath, if there's any tightness in your shoulders or your neck, let them relax and feel the muscles droop and soften. I want you now to focus on your abdomen as you breathe in and out. Feel the rising and falling of your abdomen as you take each breath. Observe the short gap between the out-breath and the in-breath. Relax. If there's any thoughts you're having, just label them thoughts and let them go. If you hear any sounds, just label them sounds and return to the rising and falling of your abdomen. If you feel any areas of tightness or tension in your body, let them go. Okay, slowly open your eyes. Become aware of the surroundings. Let your eyes focus in on the computer screen. Okay, last week we introduced the 12 vows of the Medicine Buddha from the Medicine Buddha Sutra. And this week I'd like to continue to explore the sutra and introduce the Medicine Buddha mantra. As we found out last week, the text of the sutra narrates how the Buddha responded to a request to speak to the cultivated practitioners and bodhisattvas about the Medicine Buddha's Eastern Pure Land of crystal radiance. In the sutra, the Medicine Buddha details his 12 great vows that he made when he was a bodhisattva. I've extracted 2 short versions of vow 2 and 5, which we'll explore today. Vow 2 implores that all sentient beings awake and engage in beneficial actions, while vow 5 states that all sentient beings uphold precepts in perfect purity. In this slide, I've reproduced the second vow in its entirety. To paraphrase vow 2, it stresses the importance of engaging in positive and beneficial practices, which the Medicine Buddha says will lead to enlightenment. The next slide shows the longer version of vow 5 and highlights the need to live a wholesome life, and that is best done by following the Buddha's precepts. As human beings, this can be very difficult at times, and that if one fails to do so, purity can be restored by focusing in on the Medicine Buddha and calling his name. The next 2 slides are quotes from interesting books of mine and will illustrate the importance of having a spiritual belief and how it can impact on your health. The first extract is from Dr. Wayne Jonas, who is a physician in the US Army and was the director at the National Institutes of Health, one of the world's foremost medical research centers located in the US. He says there's substantial evidence that people who engage in spiritual and religious practices stay healthier longer, recover faster, and die with a better quality of life than people who do not. He quotes Dr. Harold Koenig, a professor of psychiatry at Duke University, that the evidence of benefit is particularly strong for mental health conditions, and that there were also positive physical health correlations with spiritual and religious practices. The second extract is from a Sydney medical researcher at our city here, the University of Sydney, Professor Luigi Fontana. His book is about the evidence of health practices that you can apply in your everyday life to live longer and healthily. He states, the greater the degree of harmony and cohesion between the mind, the body, and the soul, the deeper the sense of serenity, contentment, and completeness. And that we need to all develop our inner strength and physical, mental, and spiritual health and resilience. This is a slide from last week that emphasizes the importance of not only the mind, but also the body and speech. A practical way you can use speech and apply some of the medical Buddha's wisdom has been the traditional use of a mantra, which you can use not only when you're ill or suffering, but also when you're healthy. Below are 2 versions of what is called the Medicine Buddha's mantra, a short one and a long one. You can use these and chant in your everyday Buddhist practice as well. The first mantra is, do away with illness, do away with illness, do away with the great illness of the ignorance of our true nature. The second one is longer and goes, gloriously and respectfully, we request from you, Medicine Buddha Guru, one of lapis lazuli light, king that has once come fully enlightened one who is beyond this dual-natured world. We ask like this, do away with illness, do away with illness, do away with the great illness of the ignorance of our true nature. King Medicine Buddha, this prayer is relinquished unto you. Finally, in closing, I just want to draw your attention to a quote from the well-known Buddhist author and monk, Matthew Ricard. He says that well-being is a deep sense of prosperity that comes from a mind that is exceptionally healthy, that is not merely a feeling, an emotion, or a state of mind, but an optimal state of being. The 2 questions I'd like you to consider in our breakout groups today are what actions and strategies do you undertake to engage, to awaken, engage in beneficial actions? And how do you practice wholesome living and uphold all precepts? I'll now hand you over to Cindy to break you out to your discussion groups. Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Did any of you resonate with any of these two new vows? We will now be placed in groups of 3 to 4 to share and discuss these two questions. In the discussion, we do recommend you spend a little bit of time to get to know each other before discussing the questions. There will be a few Zoom notifications to guide you, but feel free to let the flow of your discussion guide you. Our sessions are guided by metta, unconditional love and kindness for all. So let's use this opportunity to express and receive loving kindness to and from each other by taking time to pause, share, and listen. Afterward, we'll ask you to share some of your findings with the larger group. But for now, let's break out for some rich and nourishing discussions. See you all back in 15 minutes.
Hello, everyone. Hope you had some interesting discussions. We certainly did in our group. So from Ina, observe situations fully before acting or coming to conclusions, so then the actions will be caring and on point. Thank you, Ina, for that. The 4 Gs, hope, confidence, faith, and convenience, and the 3 acts of goodness. Do good deeds, speak good words, and think good thoughts. Be a light upon yourself. So thank you for that. Thanks, Chris, for the wisdom to combine vow 2 and 5 together. Upholding precepts itself is a powerful form of benefiting all beings by not harming them. Benefiting all beings becomes a practice of precepts. And again, I'm Buddha, who reminded us to eliminate the 4 poisons: hatred, anger, greed, and ignorance. Make goodness part of routine. Yep, very true. Okay, I might hand it back over to Cindy now to check out and conclude. Keep those comments coming in still. And back to you now, Cindy.
Thank you, Chris. And we really hope the check-in session was helpful to you. And we hope you experienced the unconditional love and compassion from this community. For anyone who might be experiencing a greater need than what today could provide, please don't hesitate to get in touch with us via email. You can also reach us through the professional organizations on the screen. Next week, we welcome Aina and Liam to be our facilitator and host. Aina is a practicing Buddhist, a member of the Buddha's Light International Association, and a Dharma teacher. As a Westerner, Aina has adopted a Chinese temple as her family and their adoption of her. Aina strives to assure that people of all cultures and communities can find a spiritual home in the teachings of the Buddha and use those teachings to carry the passport of a global citizen. Aina is based in Orlando, Florida, and Aina will share with us on the topic of generosity. As we check out today, let's recite the dedication of merits together to send love and compassion to each other and whoever is in need.
Let us now dedicate the goodness of what you have done to all living beings. May kindness, compassion, joy, and equanimity pervade all worlds. May we cherish and build affinities to benefit all beings. May Chan, Pure Land, and precepts inspire equality and patience. May our gratitude and humility give rise to great vows.
As we close this month, We hope you have enjoyed all the discussions and love from this community. Chris, thank you for sharing your knowledge on the Medicine Buddha. We hope with right causes and condition, you can share with us some more. We will now continue with our post check-in discussions. So please stay around for the next half hour or so if you have time. Otherwise, we'll see you all again next Sunday at 11, July 3rd, where Aina and Liam will take us on a new topic, which is generosity. Thank you so much.